latest edition of LLG's Random But Real, where a lot of different things happen randomly, but try to use my performance, literary, and communication art skills to bring awareness about all different types of relationships. And so I am happy to say hello to my guest co-host, but they can actually introduce themselves. So if y'all would like to go ahead with that.
Good evening, everyone. This is Erica.
Good evening, Chef.
All right. So, I first of all, this has been fun. And also tiring. I don't know, maybe it's working in school systems that by this time, even though, we have a summer, I don't care what anybody says. If you have not done it, you do not know what we go through throughout the year. So by the time summer happens, we are ready to be done with your children. We love them, but also ready to be done. And so, do you second that sentiment?
Absolutely.
Just need a break and a mental break at that. And so, although I love the podcast, at least for now, I don't know what's in the future. We have this one, and then we have one more on that we're recording in a couple of weeks, and then that's it for LLG's Random But Real. Who knows what God's going to do? Might come back with a completely different podcast. Might not do the podcast. Might be singing. Might be doing more writing. Right now, I just need to rest and recover. So, how do you all feel about that? Like 2 more.
So honestly, I'm ready for a little break. For a lot of reasons, but really just kind of like the other things that I have going on is something every night. So I just need a little break somewhere. And yes, I will miss though this camaraderie. I will miss this interaction. And yeah, I don't know what I'll do when I don't have this to look forward to, but I'll rest a little bit.
And call me on the phone.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, what about you, Chef?
I guess I'll be reading some of these books behind me,
That's a good goal.
I mean? Yeah, just, knock some of these books out. I started on it and kind of fell off. Other than that, I'd be sitting in the room crying,
You're not by yourself.
wishing I was still on the podcast.
Oh my gosh. Anytime you want to do, we were supposed to be doing some, on the social media one. So those are quick. We can get on and get off. Talk some stuff. You know what social media one I'm talking about. The T. So yes, not the X, but the T. Because it used to be a T, but it's an X now. We're not talking about that. So yes. Yep, I feel you. I think that everybody deserves a break or a rest, but we used to do that anyway for the summer. I don't like any of the camera angles. At any rate, so there were 2 different things that I wanted to talk about, and of course, when I try to go to it, it decides to act up. But one of the ones, let's start with the last one first, and it was saying that science suggests that men with plus size partners may report higher relationship satisfaction. And I just saw it right before, like maybe an hour ago. And I was like, that's interesting. For those watching, actually consider myself to be plus size. Although some people say that I'm not. Look at Chef's face. What does that mean, Chef? You can be honest.
I was just thinking about the comment of people that's with plus size have higher.
It says relationship satisfaction.
Yeah.
And this is on IG, y'all that want to see it. But you think so?
No, I know so. I can believe that.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't know. But just I think that some people, so this is the other thing. Actually, our friend, shout out to Tracy, sent me a video the other day, which is really interesting. I agree with it. It was basically saying that a lot of, guys, and I don't know if it said a lot, but guys actually like larger plus size or big bone women, but they want them or us to be confident. And if we're not confident about where we are, like our size, our shape, whatever, that's really like the turn off. It's like the lack of confidence, not the size per se. Although I think that there should be that we should all be healthy. But you can be, I know plenty of people who are larger than me and they don't deal with some of the health things that I have to deal with. They don't have diabetes, they don't have, whatever. And so size is not necessarily always an indicator of um, illness, disease, or whatever. But I don't know if you all watch any of, I'll just say Tyler Perry shows. And so one of the topics on Zatima, which is a spinoff from Sisters, the character who is now actually thin and pregnant in real life, on the show, she was larger and she lost a huge amount of weight. From what I understand, I'm not even going to speak to that because I don't know exactly how. But on the show, she was taking shots. What's the other word? What's the proper term? Injections. And it caused heart issues. I hope y'all saw it. I should have said spoiler alert, but I didn't say the name. But yeah. Anyway, and so what it ended up being, or the root cause ended up being, that it's something that happened earlier, and people had said negative comments on social media about her size, and that's prompted her to want to lose weight and X, Y, Z. And I haven't really been teased about fat. I've been teased about height. I've been teased about looks. Neither are actually very good feelings for me. Like, I didn't like being called some of the names I was called because I was tall. Like, I didn't have anything to do with that. This is how I ended up, I ended up growing to be at that time 6'1", you know what I mean? And so I've always been teased about my height. I've been called, well, I wasn't called ugly to my face, but I was called, I will never forget this, even in junior high school, walking down the hall, this guy was like, man, we have some ugly girls in this school. I was the only person in the hallway. So I knew he was referring to me. And I don't think I'm ugly. And I look the same pretty much my whole life. Like, I look at some people, they look older, they look like they've aged, etc. I'm the same. So it wasn't until later that I realized who it was that said, and we're not friends, we're social media people. But I think when we connected on there, I don't even remember that it was that person. But I say all this to attest that when you've been talked about, sometimes it's difficult to have confidence, and you bring that into the relationships. So do you all have any friends who have been that experience? Have you experienced that even on the other side? Because neither of you all are larger people, but do you know people that have experienced that?
What specifically that are you
The lacking the confidence because they're larger, being teased or made fun of, and then not being able to be their full authentic selves in a relationship because of what has happened in the past, the teasing, the talking about, etc. Or maybe you're one who's talked about people, because we're not always the same, and have made fun of people when you were younger,
So I would say yes, but I'm also saying yes to all of it. Like, it's all of us. It doesn't just have to be someone who's a little bigger that suffers from that. So I would be considered petite, or at least I should be considered petite because of my height. And it's really funny because people will know me for a long time, and then out of a random one day opportunity, they'll be like, I didn't realize you were so small. I didn't realize you were so little. I didn't realize you were so short. And I'm like, in this way the whole time you know me, nothing's changed. So I'm considered petite, height wise, not necessarily petite body shape wise, but of course I'm larger today than I was growing up. And growing up in high school, I remember thinking I was a little overweight or a little fat even, right? Because unfortunately, as Black people, Black women, we fall prey to a whole different system of what beauty and weight looks like. and we judge ourselves off of that. So I say that to say, whereas you might consider yourself, what'd you say, a big girl? What was the phrase you used?
Plus size.
Plus
I
size.
always used to say I was big bone, but
Plus
I was also much larger
Yeah, no, I
in my
understand that.
20s than I am now. I've lost a lot of weight.
Right. But where you have considered yourself plus size, for our people, it might not be plus size, it might be right size, right? So I think it's all in that perception. But yes, I've known women, I can put myself kind of in that category of what people have said or what we ourselves think. But the particular article you're referencing, if I recall it correctly as I read it, even though the title suggested people found more satisfaction with plus size women, ultimately the article said, like you said, it's about the confidence that one carries. So you could take a really slender woman who's very confident, doesn't have all the curves as everyone else. You could take a medium-sized woman and you could take a plus-size woman, but I think it's the confidence. But we got a guy right here amongst us who will tell us what the fellas think.
Yes.
I don't
Share.
know. I don't know what the fellas think. I could tell you what I think.
Well, of course,
Okay.
you tell us what you think, but you know what the
Yeah.
fellas say. when
Nah,
y'all be
it's
talking.
some different guys out here nowadays. No, I don't. To answer your question, no, I don't know anybody that because all the plus size women I know, they confidence is through the roof. You know, they going to the club with a crop top on, mini skirt, squeezing their foot in some kitten heels or something. I don't know, but you know, I don't see that. I've dated a few in my past.
Uh-huh.
That's why I can agree with, happy and, relationship is satisfied. Yeah. Women that plus size women that get married usually don't they don't lose their men for some reason. I think that need to be studied a little bit more. I don't know any plus size women that got married lose their men. Matter of fact, when I was working on the base, there was this one guy. He liked big women. I mean, plus size women. He liked plus size women, and his wife went to get a surgery done, and she lost all the weight, and he divorced her.
I mean, I think this is just what I was trying, when you said that, I was trying to think of my friends who, because I do have friends who are much larger than I am, even on the scale. Like,
When you say large, you mean are you measuring your height, or are you talking about
no,
just
my height, there's not many people that are taller than me, female wise. I know one who is now, but no, really, I'm saying growing up at 6'1", there were not a lot of females. I was like instantaneously going to the bathroom as a little kid. I was in the back of the line. Photo pictures, I was in the back of the line, which also I had to stand in the back of the line because they went by height to do everything like in the school. And so it shaped, just my thought process, even as a young child, which I believe that I'm confident now, but there are times, which even in the character of the show, the TV show, she didn't even tell her best friend / cousin that she was feeling. A lot of times, a lot of us do feel with me. And when I say us, I'm not even talking about whether you want to use the term fat, big bone, plus size, big bone, whatever, but also tall, slender, super, super small or slender, like Eric was talking about. Anybody that's not the average size of what the world kind of seems or deems has probably had to deal with at some point those types of thoughts or words that have caused some type of insecurity. I mean, there are things that I cannot stand about myself, but I do love myself. And you could say whatever you want to say. I know what I bring to the table. So I know that I'm worthy of love, but it took a while to receive that, or to actually believe it so that I could receive that. And to the point where I didn't want to settle, just because. And there's sometimes I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I just turned 53. What are you doing, God? Right? But then there are other times where I'm like, obviously it wasn't meant to be yet. And I'm okay with where I am, because also this is what I've known my whole life. It's always been just me kind of having to deal with whatever. I had to take my own trash out. I would love for somebody to do that for me. I had to cook myself. I would love for you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying intermittently that it wasn't people that did that. But for the most part, I was the one having to deal with everything. You want to say something, Erica?
Yeah, I was just going to say, being 55 almost, I think I grew up in a generation where we were very conscious of what we look like, and we had this ideal, like you said, right? Again, based on something that's not even really in our DNA, right? But I am raising young women who are in their 20s, mid to late 20s, who you cannot try to body shame my girls. You
No.
cannot try
And
to
I've
tell
seen
my girls that they have to look this way. And my
Right.
girls,
they look beautiful.
they are beautiful. And I
Yeah.
love how confident they are. They do not have the typical shapes. They're very different. One of them is taller, been taller the whole time. The other one was, you know, always a little smaller, more petite like me. But her body developed in later in life, in college. They're smaller up top. She's smaller up top, a little bigger on the bottom. But my girls, them crop tops you speak of, Chef, my girls wear them crop tops. They don't have flat stomachs.
Yeah, but they're not. Right. They look nice in there.
But what I'm saying is, and when I was that age, I would expect a girl in a crop top to have a flat stomach, because that was the ideal that was being presented. Don't have a little pudge. Don't have a little fupa. You know, if you want to show your belly, if you want to wear a bikini, be small, right? But these girls today, you don't have to be small to wear a bikini, to wear a crop top. And I love that for our young women, right? Like, show your body how you want to show your body, you know, appropriately, of course. But I think it is definitely generational. Definitely depends on your age. But men, I don't think it matters for them. Older men, middle-aged men, younger men, they like what they like. Some like them small, some like them not so small. And it doesn't matter.
Very true. All of that. I don't know. There's some things that I would not. There's some things that I've worn that I'm surprised that I wore. I showed some skin not too long ago.
Why are you laughing? What are we saying that's cracking you up already?
I showed some skin?
No. I was just thinking about something. That's all.
You're not gonna share. You just gonna keep
you can't tell us.
It's not appropriate for, you know.
Yeah. Okay. And it's funny because you're going to see me when I walk into a room, whether you want to or not, like, because I'm tall. And that was interesting. I felt like it wasn't a lot, but it was enough. It was more than I would show normally. It, you know, the only thing I really do is go to karaoke or go dance somewhere or eat. Those are the only places that I really go, right? So it's a place I've been to before, and I knew people there, but they like embraced it. Like they were, yeah.
Go ahead. After I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go on.
I just want to say I have a question after you finish.
No, go on. Ask your question.
So like when I hear y'all talk about dressing, do you guys, speaking for the ladies, do you dress to be approached by your preference, or do you just dress for, you know, creative expression or for your own?
For me, it's how I feel. Like, I don't really care. Like, if you don't like it, but if I don't feel confident in it, or I feel like it's too much, like I took this one picture and I was like, I really wish that I didn't wear that dress then, because I didn't like the way that I look. Like, I have a stomach. It is what it is. And the dress itself wasn't tight, but the way that it fits, like, it was my size, but the way that it fit, it didn't, that particular day, it definitely didn't flatter me, even with Shaper. So, because I was going to be around family, friends, I didn't really trip about it. And then I ended up going someplace else that I wasn't expecting. But I felt okay being around them more so than I probably would have been around strangers. It usually, sometimes I think it's the opposite for people. But if I know you accept me for me, like I could wear anything around Erica and not feel like, I just don't feel any kind of way because I know she's my genuine friend. I would hope that if it looked horrible, she would tell me. But even if she did, I still may not change because people, case in point, I love lipstick, right? I have over 100 shades of lipstick, blue, green, orange, you name it, I probably have it. I have had people tell me to my face not to wear it. I have a green shadow with my green, like I have green toes right now. Like I like color. I live in color, and so not toes, but toenails. I mean, specify that. Toes are not green. Anyway, people have told me like they have talked about me because of my shadow. Like they've talked about me or said whatever to my face. Why do you wear that? And then years later, they end up trying blue or black or whatever. Like for me, it's a way of expression, but I'm an artistic person. Like I love the arts. When I had red hair, purple hair, you know what I mean? Like I'm okay with who I am, and whoever is going to like me, especially now in this big age, is going to like me how I am. Like I'm not about to change who I am because you don't like it. We can have a conversation and I might be willing to, maybe, okay. Maybe.
For me, I would say it's more personal than it is other people. So at this age, I stress out way more about my belly and how I look in clothes than I probably did in my 40s, my 30s, my 20s. Again, even in high school, I was, and I'll say this just to drive my point home, I was probably 125 pounds in high school, and I thought I was big. I was like, oh my God, I need to lose weight, right? But now I stress out more because, so when COVID happened and we were home, I was like, what am I gonna do? Let me go walking every day. Something I'd never done prior to that in this way. I'd been in the gym, I lift weights, I work out, but I'd never just walked every day. Started walking every day. The weight loss was tremendous, right? Like people who had seen me during that time or hadn't seen me in years, everybody was just like, oh my God, you lost a lot of weight. Mind you, I wasn't even that big, but by walking, right? So in the last couple of years with schedule changes and all this other stuff going on, I haven't walked as much. So for me, I've picked back up the weight that I had previously lost, and I'm looking at it. I'm judging it. Nobody's saying anything to me. I don't know what they're saying behind me, but they're not saying it in front of me to me. So a lot of it, I think, is what we do and say to ourselves as women, because we have these perceptions of how men are looking at us or other women are judging us, what people are thinking about us, what we should look like at this age. And the bottom line is people probably don't care all that much. And you seem to agree, Chef. You're saying right. Yes, right? Y'all not really tripping all like that, right?
Nah. I just feel like, I was taught that your first impression is everything. So you wanna dress your best when you step outside your house. You don't want to look like anything. But again, I just feel like in today's society is a little different because we don't have shame. There's no shame out here in the world. So you can literally put on anything, wear anything, even if it doesn't look right on you, if it looks, just whatever. I mean, it's just however you feel in that moment. So shame is out of the window. You know what I mean? I have seen people that wear crop tops that don't look like they should be wearing crop tops. I do feel like you should dress for your size. I do feel like that. I don't, you should dress for your size. But that's just my take on it. You can, that's not gonna stop me from saying hi to you. You can.
But does that mean cover up? Does dress for your size mean cover up everywhere? Does that mean don't show? Like, I can't hide my breasts even if I wanted to. They there. But so if I don't wear stuff that shows it, but I remember wearing out, it was one Halloween party, whatever, and I had on a lace bra. It was a part of the thing. You couldn't see like anything. It was lace. So, but you could see skin, but you couldn't see anything, but it was a part of the outfit. Now, I wouldn't go to work like that. I wouldn't go to church like that. It fit the outfit for that time. And the skirt was actually see-through, but I wore leggings underneath because I couldn't find a leotard. But if I found a leotard, because my bottom is much smaller than my top. So even if I didn't have fat, I still had my breasts. So I was always larger at the top. And I was even larger. I lost weight. And so they went down, right? You're going to see me. I don't believe that I have to cover that up. Like, don't wear anything. I saw a video about tight or fitted. Like, it's a difference in a sense for us. What do you think, Chef? Is it a difference for tight and fitted?
I just think when I say dress for your size, in general, what I mean is like if the crop top is too small, I'm gonna use that. If it's too small for your body frame, then don't try to squeeze into it. You should be comfortable and you should be confident in what you're wearing. You shouldn't be, like, again, grandma ain't here no more, so grandma's, they ain't big mama ain't here. So, I just feel like you should look appropriate. And if you dressing inappropriate, then you can't get mad at a guy approaching you based on what you're wearing. You shouldn't judge, like, he shouldn't judge you based on what you're wearing, but you shouldn't judge him based on what he gonna say to you if you're wearing it. I think it's all fair.
Well, I think it's pretty clear that as a society, generally speaking, we do wear clothes to attract the opposite sex or to attract another person. Look at me crazy if you want, but women wear clothes that might be a little revealing because we want to attract somebody. Men, y'all put on whatever it is you put on to look a certain way because you want to attract somebody. Now, I don't know. This is what the people say. But what's up with them sweatpants? What's up with them sweatpants, fellas? Walking around here.
I'm not allowed to go outside in sweatpants.
Specifically gray, okay?
I was
and
just
just like, let me just tell the audience, I'm looking over because I'm typing, trying to write messages or whatever, etc. Or just I'm paying attention.
Right.
I'm just But no, yes, those gray sweatpants.
So no, people do put on clothing to attract someone else. They do that. Sometimes, historically, generally speaking.
I just want to like what I have on. Like, I don't get dressed and be like, ooh, I'm going to talk to somebody tonight. This good. Like, I don't really care about that. Not when it comes to the clothes. I just like for how it looks on me. And if I think it looks okay on me, then, one of the things I will say, like, I don't feel like I have a lot of night on the town clothes or going out. I have formal dresses. I have summer dresses. I have, I have church attire. Like, I have attire. I feel like more in the summer than I do like fall or maybe spring. I might have that, but fall, winter especially, there's not a lot. And then honestly, being my height, like, even if I wanted to, there's not a lot of long dresses that I've been able to find that fit. Case in point, when I was younger, I don't know if I ever shared this on here. This is when overalls were really popular and Guess was coming out, with like their overalls. And I tried on the female overall. This was junior high school, so I was not 6'1" yet. When I tell you that those pants stopped at like the top of my calf, they were more like capris. That's how long they were. They were super short for me. And so thank goodness for Bugle Boy. I don't know if y'all remember that brand. But they had a purple and like a pink one. And I couldn't get the Guess ones because they were too short. They were high waters. Or whenever I got the female pants, they were always too high. Now you can wear Pixie and you can wear them high. You know what I mean? I'll roll up my jeans or whatever. And they're long jeans. But, it's a different thing. I still like capris rather than shorts. Well, I'll wear shorts too. But I don't care. Like, even at 53, I'll wear shorts. Like, my legs are skinny. So I think it really is just about preference. I don't really dress for other people unless sometimes I will if I'm dating somebody. I will dress, we're going out I want to look cute for them. But just on a general basis, if I want to wear my Tims, I'm wearing my Tims. If I want to wear my kitten heels, I wear my kitten heels. If I want to wear my heels, but I can't do that right now. Like literally not able to do physically to do it.
Now, again, these are individual comments we're making, but I'm talking
yes, absolutely.
generally speaking, people dress to impress others. Especially if you're single, you dress because you're trying to attract someone. And then you yourself just said, Lisa, if you're dating someone, you want to look a certain way. So if you're in a relationship and your partner has expressed they like to see you look this way or that way.
Oh no, that's not what I meant by that. Let me clarify.
No, what I'm saying
specifically
is
that though.
If you're in a relationship and your partner says, "Oh, baby, I love when you wear heels,"
I may not still do it because when it comes to, we talked about that with hair. When I say that, I said maybe, and I could think of one particular time where I hadn't seen the person in a while because I actually had gone out of town, and then I came back and I was like, I want to make sure that I look good. This da da da. But that is not my personal general whatever. And I also think it's different where how we're raised. So being raised Christian, majority of my family being saved, there were certain things that I couldn't do. So for me, my mindset might be a little different than it was like, quote unquote, the world, going out to clubs and all the other stuff, wanting to look good. I didn't even have the attire for it. So that just really wasn't my mindset. And I do think it is a difference for Christians, non-Christians, or those who believe in something different as opposed to, those that were raised in a secular.
I think you still can get dressed up and still be appropriate without showing any skin and still be the baddest in the room, red carpet, photo ready for pictures and all that. I mean, me personally, I've seen it. I've seen it too many times, but they each his own, like whatever you like. I just feel like, you got to be comfortable and you got to be confident about what you're wearing. Me personally, I love a woman that can dress. That's, I wouldn't have anything less than that. My preference is she has to know how to dress because she has to know how to pick out clothes for me too. So I don't dress. So that's again,
understood. Yeah, I've dated some of those. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. And one of the things I love doing is like we're going out. I love picking out male ties. I had a boyfriend in high school. He was, I would say, eclectic, like dark skin, but could wear like a hot pink shirt or a bright orange shirt and look amazing in like his clothes or whatever. I enjoyed shopping with him. I enjoyed like helping him pick out. So he didn't need my help, but he would allow me to do stuff. One time I bought this shirt because like I said, I had to wear male's clothes, and I like color. It was like a prism. I don't know. Maybe they were diamonds of all different shapes, colors. I know a lot of guys wouldn't even had dared to wear it, but his confidence, he was sexy anyway. Still is. That's what, and pretty much, I don't know, so many girls liked him. So he already, had that attention, whatever. But I think that did play a part in, he was able to carry it off where some people, I don't ever want to see you. I love purple, favorite color. Every male can't wear purple, depending on the shade. I don't want to see you in velvet. I don't care what. I don't like velvet. Oh no. I hit the wrong button. Hold on. It stopped, y'all, for some reason.
I can wear.
It's still counting down on my end.
You know what I mean?
It's about to come back on.
I
don't know why.
I can wear yellow, orange, purple,
Hold on one second, Chef, because I
blue. Don't matter. So we still live?
I think we're still live. I see us as still being live. Lisa's not on, but I see us still being live. So you can wear all the colors. Who told you that?
Because I make my clothes look good. My clothes don't make me look good.
Okay.
I've heard that before. I heard that I'm a unique. I could be, a model or whatever, but I'm not photogenic as people would like me to be. I'm not photogenic. I was trying to get some pointers from, the good sister Erica, but still haven't got the photography. Still haven't, you know,
You
just
just have to.
when it comes to you, it's still haven't. That's all I'm gonna say.
You still
Whatever
have
that
to.
is, still
You have
haven't.
to anticipate the camera. That's what you have to do. Anticipate the camera. Be
What does that look?
prepared
What does that
for the
look like?
camera.
Like, what
If
does that look like?
Sorry, you
if
all.
you
I don't know
know,
what's going on with I don't know if it's Wi-Fi or whatever,
It's
but
cool.
I
It's random,
apologize.
random but real. It's cool.
It is that. That is frustrating though, because it's been remember Erica, like every week it was something for a while. But I apologize. You could say
It's
you said
okay.
you can wear yellow, you can wear. That's all
He
I
was
heard.
saying that he could wear any color, but he's not very photogenic. And I was just telling him as a pointer to just anticipate the camera. If you know it's a camera in the room, just be prepared. Just be prepared. Anticipate it. That's my advice.
Oh, speaking of which, homecoming. No, what's the thing that you go to? It wasn't homecoming, reunion, like class reunion.
Oh,
My friend, my ex actually was the photographer, and he takes good pics, whatever. I liked them, but I didn't have control over the pics that he took. But every like few days, I was getting messages from some of my friends or former people that I used to be cool with. Can you please remove that picture? Can you take that? Why are you standing in the picture if you don't like it? And then talk to him. Don't talk to me. I didn't take it. But they didn't like, again, their parents. And I get it. I have some friends who will not post any like random pictures because you got to look good in your
well,
pictures.
listen, let me be honest. I'm not going to willingly put a picture up of
Yeah,
me
that's
looking
not.
crazy. I'm
No,
not going to,
I
I don't
understand
care about
that.
how confident one thinks they are. I'm not going to let
But
you.
what if you thought the picture? I mean, somebody else, Chef, thought the picture was beautiful as your friend, but you just like, I don't like that. I'm not whatever. Sometimes one of the things I learned from him was
Oh,
really how much beauty was in the eye of the
yeah.
beholder.
Send me that picture. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna call. Send me that picture. You take it down, but you got to send that to me. I need that in my
Oh,
phone.
yes, I've done that too. Like
Yeah,
I like that one.
yeah.
But he took, he would take pictures of me and I'm looking at it like, this is horrible. One time I was this way and I wasn't cross-eyed, but I could tell because I know me. And I was like, I don't look like my girl. When I tell you it was over 100 views and likes of the picture, I'm like, are y'all looking at the same thing that I'm looking at? So sometimes we're incorrect about how other people, view us. But I think
Beauty
that
is
that
in the
does
eye
go.
of the
I want to be
beholder,
cool.
yes. But I mean, if we're talking about how one feels about self-worth, where does
Mhm.
that come from? Does that come from other people or does it come from you intrinsically?
Mhm. I think it should come from us
I like how
intrinsically.
you pronunciated that word.
Wanted to make sure I said it correctly.
Yeah, I like how you pronounced that word.
You did. Good job, friend.
Like when you said it, I can see the whole word in front of me, like spelt out.
Intrinsically, yes.
Like she didn't miss nothing out of that. She everything,
Every syllable was pronounced.
every syllable. Yes.
My reading teachers would be proud.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
And
hilarious.
yet they say we can't read over a seventh grade level. Look at that.
Listen, I've
Man,
always been an above grade level reader. Very proud of that. I don't play about that. But that doesn't mean I don't say words wrong sometimes. I ask my besties. They be like, she be out here talking about whatever. I say what I hear in my head.
that is funny.
Yeah.
Very,
That's
very funny. Okay. Well, can you start with I can't get to it right now. The other question I had. Yes, the star, Maya. Do you remember the story?
Yes. So I had mixed feelings about that, right? On the one hand,
You
she
have to
had
set it up.
okay. So apparently Maya was dating the game, right?
I
That's
think
what
that
it
was
is.
in the past.
And they were supposed to get together and he bailed on her. But in bailing on her, it turned out he had hooked up with an old friend. And she shows up at his place with her dad to question why he bailed on her. And so the question became like, should dad have done that, right? Okay, first and foremost, she's a grown woman, but we don't know why she took her dad as a grown woman. Maybe as protection, not so much as a daddy, come fight my battles. But I want to question you me, a woman, want to question you, chef, a man, but I don't want it to just be, I'm just using us because we're looking at each other as an example here, okay? I'm a female,
Mhm.
you're a male. I'm coming to question you on why you bailed, but I mean, it's not like I'm going to fight you. I'm not bringing my dad necessarily to fight you, but I'm bringing my dad as a man so that it doesn't get out of hand, perhaps. I don't know the context in which the father came with her, but just wondering, was that was that the right thing? The article said, praise God, she has an invested dad who cares enough about her as a woman to, with her, question when a man does not treat her right, or to say, hey, you don't get to mistreat my daughter. Of course, I
Mhm.
love that. I love,
Yeah.
dads being there for their daughters, taking care of their daughters emotionally, whatever the case might be, right? Again, I don't really know the context of all this, so I don't know why they physically, why you just don't call them and say, what happened? Oh, I heard da 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 da, and leave it at that. Why you physically went to question him, I don't know. But if anything, she ought to look at it like she dodged a bullet, because the comments were saying things like, his name is the game. What did you think he was running? What did you
Yeah. I
think would
mean,
happen? What did you think?
I think he's with Evelyn's daughter now. They had a baby, I think,
I have no
last year.
idea
So
who these people are. Who is Evelyn?
um
I don't know.
Evelyn Lozada, um she was
Never mind.
on Basketball Wives, but that's fine.
Never seen
And
it.
Ocho was married to Ocho Cinco for a
Heard of
while.
him.
So
Heard of him.
yeah.
Okay.
That's his ex-wife. So, and like we said, we're just speaking about things that we've seen in, social media, whatever. We are not experts on their lives. That's not what we're doing. Just wondering, when I saw it, I was like, I mean, one, I wish I still had a father alive that could go with me too. I do think the support, that's great. And like, you're not going to mess with my daughter like that. And then also her being from here, she's from the Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Maryland or whatever, or DMV area. I don't know if she
Merlin.
was born in
Like
Maryland, but she
all
lived
the.
in Maryland. um, I actually went to school with one of my relatives, but that's neither here nor there. However, just she seems to be in a better place now. But it also I don't know when that happened, or it didn't speak to that, But just interesting. Like if you had a daughter, chef, would you go to?
I didn't get a chance to, understand all the ramifications that you guys are discussing at this moment. However,
Would you
I
show
would
up with your daughter to, like, if
the,
Your
it
somebody, if
depends.
adult
God just
daughter.
was
Your
the,
It,
adult daughter.
yeah, your
it
adult
it
daughter.
just depends. It depends on the situation, what it is. I saw something on social media that I felt like it's more realistic because I've been in situations with my sister in real life where it is this guy said, like in a domestic abuse or something like that, the daughter called him the father, and the father told her to call the police, and she said no, I don't want to call the police because he's going to get locked up, just that and the third. That so what's the point of me coming over there if you're going to be back with him tomorrow? So i feel as though I feel as though me showing up as a father knowing that my daughter is going to go right back to the same guy.
You're just gonna let it ride.
My daughter wouldn't be in that situation. Well, prayfully, she wouldn't be in that situation because she had a father that's active, and I like to be the standard. So
I wish.
if the guy is not a reflection of her father, then I mean, she got her own will, but I just feel like I don't know. I don't know how I respond because I don't have a child, but I have a sister that I'm very protective of, and I have other people in my family, but
Well, I think
I
it's
remember,
similar. The
you know,
relationship doesn't have to be defined, right? Like, if you would
nah,
go hard for your sister, you'll go hard for your
it,
daughter.
but see, that was a mistake. That Not a mistake, but it was a situation that when I'm young without thought. Now that I'm older enough to understand about relationships and human behavior,
Mm.
I would definitely say call the police because I want to see how serious you are about this situation that you want me to go see. If you don't want the guy to be locked up and whatever, he ain't done nothing that wrong to you. That's how I'm gonna look at it. You're gonna
Yeah,
be no matter
unfortunately,
what I
that's
say to
not the
this, no
case.
matter the problem is, no matter what I say as an enforcer, if you go back to him, nothing matters You get what I'm saying? Nothing really matters if you go right back to this guy after I show up and guns
When it comes
blazing.
to
Don't
DV,
matter.
though, that's not really the case. And usually, if you look at the stats, most of the time it takes that victim several times before they're able to really walk away. So,
But in the
unfortunately,
context of the Maya story, like they were going to confront him as to why he
mhm,
stood her up
you're right.
and ended up with someone else. He told her like, I'm not available. They made plans and he
Hmm.
bailed on the plans to be with someone else. So Maya and her father went to confront him like, why'd you waste my time or whatever? Like, I don't know
But
the
why
I would
as a human being, if you had all that information of me standing you up, is he already famous?
They're
Yes, he
both
was. I
famous.
believe.
But
Uh-huh.
it's about clout. It's about a story on the news. It's about an
Mhm.
internet. But because to me, if I didn't show up for you, if I stood you up, that's enough for you to be like, okay, keep it moving. So me showing up with my father is just a bigger story to get my name out there. Probably, I don't know. I don't know these people. I really don't follow celebrities and stuff because I don't feel like their relationships be 100% real anyway. I think it's all publicity.
A lot
So
of it probably
yeah,
is.
you know what I mean.
I
So
don't
I
know
don't.
with this though, because it
I
was so many years ago. I don't think that's recent. I don't know. I
I
think it
don't.
just
I mean,
came out.
I never even knew they were
I don't.
dating.
I
I
don't. I look.
barely know him.
Yeah, I
I
look
mean, I
at
don't know her,
I
but
look at
I
what's
know who
going
he
on
is.
right here, right outside my door, and I see how effed up we are as a people. Forget your celebrities because they're not really doing nothing for your community. I'm looking at the people that's right outside my door and seeing how effed up the situation is because I don't have to go no higher than a celebrity because half their stuff is publicity stunts anyway to me. I mean, most of them don't be in a relationship longer than a year or two. By the time
Understood.
I find out who you're dating, you with a whole nother person.
That's true.
Because I'm really
It's
not. I'm not into other people's stuff like that.
very true.
Yeah.
Well, I think that those two, that was interesting. I don't know how many times. We probably only have a few more minutes because we're now almost at 12, and I don't know where we were when we stopped. But Chef, did you want to bring anything up specifically before we get off of here?
Nah, man. Just take your time out here and dress appropriate. Dress appropriate. If
Yes,
dress
appropriately.
dress
Okay.
dress. I
For your
mean, it's
time.
kind of yeah. Dress for your size or for whatever you want. For whatever you want.
Now,
Okay.
see, those are two different messages. Dress appropriate and dress for whatever you want. You
Right. Because
But
saying two
appropriate
different
is
you know
things.
what?
like
Because
how you feel.
Erica, I was thinking, no matter what we say, no matter what happens, people gonna do what they want to do regardless.
Absolutely.
So it's I'm tired. That's all. I'm tired. That's all.
Okay.
I
What about
really
you, Erica?
um, Based on what we talked about today, I would just say that I remember being younger and wanting to look a certain way, then being in my middle years and just living my life, and now being older and wanting, but it's more about health. When you get older, you want to look a certain way, more about your health, I think, than just how other people perceive you. So what I will say ultimately is we just need to do what we need to do for ourselves,
right,
not worry about the next person. Do
right,
what you need to do for you to feel good, to be healthy, to be happy, and then whatever you're trying to attract, you'll naturally attract what you should. That's what I'm gonna say.
Hope so. Let's hope
I
so.
just
So
I
go
yeah,
on.
I just
You just go.
ordered a. You're right because as the older I get, I want to be comfortable. So like I just ordered a therapeutic bed. I'm doing like I want to be comfortable. I don't care. Yeah, that's too much. But go ahead. I'm sorry. My mind all over the
Mhm.
place. Yeah.
That's okay.
I just
It
want to
does
be
matter
comfortable.
though.
When I go outside, I want to be comfortable. I ain't
Yeah.
got time for all that dressing up and like me for who I am. It's church. I'm gonna come as I am.
The door,
Sweatpants
the doors are
sweatpants
open.
around the house. I'm not going outside with that because I don't want to hear nobody mouth in the house. So
All righty then. Understood, Chef. And with that being said, I am very thankful. I like, I like just being random and talking about the things that are happening. It's a lot of things happening. And this, I was going to say something else, but with the state of our states, United States, that is, having a time where you can just kind of joke and, let your hair down, so to speak, or put it up, whatever, just relax. It's, I think, necessary and needed. So for the last recording, I would like for, all of us to just kind of come again, like we started, with our own topic of what we want to talk about. If you see something you want us to look at before, that's fine. But those of you all who are watching, we want you all to ask us different things too. So if it's something that you're interested in knowing, I don't know, say you like Chef, or maybe you like me. You can like Erica, but Erica's taken.
Yeah,
But it's just something that you were like, Chef, for episode 10, you said XYZ. Like, this will be your time to ask those questions, those burning questions. So if there are any, you can go ahead and DM me on Facebook or IG. I also have a Facebook page too, so you can find me on there and send a message, or you can post it on the YouTube video. I think I get messages on Spotify as well. And we'll try our best to our comfortability factor to answer any questions that you might have. And we want to thank you for, that's going to be 20 episodes. I think that's the longest season I've ever done at one time. So 6 years for me, 20 episodes. This is 2 for you, Erica, or 3? 2?
I think I was a guest on one season, and then this is my second season co-hosting.
Yeah. So it goes by, and it's been a lot of things that we've spoken about and over the years. So I'm grateful for you all who are watching. I'm grateful for you all who are co-hosting. And I just want to say thank you. I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your evening. Lisa, one singing lady Gilliam out.
Erica out.